Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Rant YouTube channel. Today we're talking about Misfits X Series 011. Now I am a bit late, I will admit. The card did happen on Friday, November 17th in London at York Hall, and it is now Wednesday, the 22nd of November. So yes, I am a couple of days late, but I am ill and I did have to watch it all because I didn't watch it at the time because I'm not paying DAZN's monthly subscription like I used to, because it used to be £7, now it's 20. Come on. Come on. Right, the only time I'll ever pay it is if I have to pay it to pay a pay-per-view, like Miss Series X Series 10, which obviously had a lot of controversy. But this one does not have controversy because this one had fights we wanted, fights we didn't know we needed. It had skill, it had knockouts. It was literally what you could ask for in a boxing card, right? Except it lacked the bit of influencer entertainment. But let's talk about it. First of all, they had the prelims. The first fight I didn't know was some guy on Twitter called the Muslim Boxer. He was actually really good, and he won in a pretty decent fashion. But the next fight was a fight built up between two old men, a man in his late 40s and a man in his 50s. The man in his 50s being Rhino, a man from Gladiator, I believe. And the other guy being a guy called Adam Brooks, who's had a fight on another influencer card and got a pretty clean knockout. Off the bat, Rhino was more explosive because obviously he was more athletic, and I thought, okay, that could cause problems for Adam Brooks. But like, Adam Brooks has got skill. I can tell just from what he's doing. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's just not got the athleticism or the exact accuracy, but he's doing the right things. He's just not got it all. You know what I mean? And the knockout shot that Adam scored against Rhino should tell you it all. He caught him with a right uppercut as he came in. One of the cleanest knockouts I've ever seen in Misfits, by the way. Ever seen in influencer boxing, right? Not the cleanest, but one of the cleanest, right? Just catches him with a counter right uppercut as he comes in. Rhino falls face first flat into the corner and struggles to get his way up, has to use the corner to get up and still can't get up. The fact Rhino complained when the referee stopped him was laughable, because that beautiful knockout. If I was a referee and I saw him do that before he hit the floor, I'd be waving it off. I'd be like, nah, you're winning after that one. If you're not getting the win after that one, you don't. Nah. But the main event of the prelims, which I thought, main event, you could have put Adam Brooks on the main event, but it's fine. No one really knows what's going to happen. So the main event was Simple Simon's return after his horrific effort against Ed Matthews, right? And he's fighting some of that old man called Dapper Laughs, but he's not old Dapper Laughs as in his 30s. Simple Simon's at his 50s. I was expecting a bit more from Simple Simon. I thought since then he might have took it seriously, he might have got laughed at a bit, so he might have trained a bit more, and he might have a decent skill, at least develop a jab, you know what I mean? Like, all these influencers that are bad, right? At least some of them have a jab, you know what I'm saying? Or at least some of them have like a right hand or something. Dapper Laughs had clearly been training because he did very well. Dapper Laughs disposed of him in one round. Got some decent skill there for Dapper Laughs. I think he should have more fights because he's actually pretty decent. Again, he had combos. That was his thing. He had combos and he was able to establish a right hand on Simple Simon's chin, which basically put him out in the first round. Poor thing for Simple Simon. I think give it up. If not, do a redemption fight, train properly, get a proper trainer, have a good fight, pick someone easy though, just to show you can't bang. It's just with your four harder opponents, which, to be fair, Michael Dapper's a big shock. Dapper Laughs wasn't considered a hard opponent because obviously no one had seen him box, but apparently he's been training boxing for years. So there you go. That was a great prelim. Honestly, I can't complain about that. Let's get on to the main card. The first fight was a rematch. The first rematch, Uncle Pizza versus Yuri Gang TV. In the first fight they had, I think they had it on Misfits X Series 006. Was it in Nashville? I don't know. That was Misfits X Series 008. It was on the Le'Veon Bell GMX card. I think it was in Texas or Tennessee or something like that. No, Nashville is Tennessee, so I think it was in Texas. They had a surprise out of nowhere last minute fight made up on fight week, and it was really close, and it was kind of shocking because these two guys came out of nowhere, had no idea who they were, could actually box decently well. And Uncle Pizza got their split decision, bit of a controversial decision. So we love to see this rematch. So we got the rematch, and again it was more close. Just actual good boxing. These guys shouldn't be an influencer boxer. Obviously, I think I don't really know who they are, but I'm pretty sure Yuri Gang has a YouTube channel. I'm not sure where Uncle Pizza's come from, but the boxing there was very, very good. I was very impressed, and yeah, I would give it a Yuri Gang because Yuri Gang's actually got some potential. So there's possibly a trilogy coming there. If not, get some Yuri Gang on some other fight because he's been set up here with losses. He's only single fights against Uncle Pizza, and he's been in a tag team match against Dean the Great and Waleed Sharks. I mean, what a setup, right? So that's that. The next fight, one I was excited for, Arms Corleone. I love Arms Corleone. What a built man. Against Minicon, this was the rematch from both their first fights where they fought, and Arms got the close win, but had to be carried out on a stretcher because he was that out of breath. Because people don't understand, having a build like that doesn't mean you're just the fittest person ever. No, being fit is not being built and being strong. Arms is built and strong, and to go 4 3-minute rounds, that's 12 minutes of constant moving. Arms is going to be tired because of how heavy he is, right? He might be strong, but to carry all his body mass around like that, it's uncanny. It's uncanny. It's different for Minicon. Minicon's a bit of a natural heavyweight. Arms put that on. Arms isn't naturally there. That isn't natural from Arms. I'm not saying he takes steroids, obviously not. I'm saying his body's not natural. You know what I'm saying? Minicon's is natural. So you can understand why Arms has got tired after that. But he got the win again and he dropped Minicon, which is, again, that establishes his point. Master Uguay took him out in a round or two, I think. Right? And that's what a guy like Arms is there to do. He's not there to go all the rounds and be technical. But the fact he could drop Minicon just shows, yes, I am that man. Look what I can do. Right? And I think Arms' cardio just failed him in this one. And I think the PBA came out since then saying they've suspended Arms' license due to health-related issues. I think suspended is quite a harsh word to use for it. I think you should say we're disallowing Arms to at least fight until he becomes better, until he gets his cardio up there and works on maybe decreasing his weight a bit so he's more mobile and more able to stick to a longer pace with more cardiovascular reliance than he has. So, yeah, that's a bit harsh news for Arms that he's probably been suspended, his license, but he'll get that back. It's not for any bad reasons necessarily, it's just for health concerns, you know what I mean? But respect to Arms, what a man, what a man. I aspire to be like that man, body-wise, obviously. Because I remember when I went to Misfits X Series 09 in Newcastle, hometown, right? When I went to Misfits in Newcastle and I saw Arms in person, I was like, Christ almighty. Like, he looks big on the screen, yeah, but when you see him in person, he doesn't look real. Like, he doesn't look like a real human being, you know what I mean? Next fight, we had Gabriel Silva versus OJ Rose. OJ Rose's had two Misfits appearances. He fought Kimbo Slice on the Misfits X Series 06 card, where he beat Kimbo Slice Jr., and he fought on the Newcastle card where he beat Callum Izzard in the cleanest knockout of the night, which I was sat in front of some very drunk men who, when they saw that knockout, were going crazy for it. So, yeah, OJ Rose has some very good talent for an influencer boxer. And Gabriel Silva, I mean, he's Anderson Silva's son. He was there on the Newcastle card and he knocked out a YouTube commentator who was not on the same skill as any of OJ Rose's opponents, right? So I thought this fight could be very close. I was so indecisive. I thought Gabriel Silva would win, but I was kind of rooting for OJ Rose. And again, Gabriel Silva got the win, but by a close split decision. I think these are obviously the good fights to make because they're both in the same weight category. They're both very skilled. It's just a shame that OJ Rose has to lose his undefeated streak to a close win against Gabriel Silva because you put OJ Rose up against most Misfits opponents, he wins. So I think the next move, obviously Gabriel Silva is going to try and fight Anthony Taylor for the title in Brazil. Get that, because I think Gabriel Silva can beat Anthony Taylor, because one thing Gabriel Silva showed is that he's a true pro. He's been trained by the greatest MMA fighter of all time, his father, Anderson Silva. And one thing he showed in the OJ Rose fight is defense. He has great defense. Every time OJ Rose, because OJ Rose was trying to bang him. He was trying to throw bangs everywhere. And because he thought that would cause trouble for such a technical man like Anderson Silva, and it nearly did. Nearly did, because he caught him a good couple of times, right? But Gabriel Silva had great defense, and I think one thing that Anthony Taylor uses that has helped him defeat Saul Pappy and King Kenny is they're trying to be aggressive and they're trying to hit Anthony Taylor, and he's just going to run up and smother them. It's not going to work for Gabriel Silva because Gabriel Silva fights on the back foot and he tries to smother Gabriel Silva. I think Gabriel Silva has a great counter whether it's a counter uppercut, a counter straight, anything. Gabriel Silva's got Andy Taylor's number, and I think Gabriel Silva will take that belt. But you've got to credit OJ Rose because the next move is get OJ Rose another fight, get him someone on his level. So it's not an easy fight, but it's a great performance because OJ Rose deserves a win. Because one thing he showed in there, right, is he's got the aggression, he's got shot selection, he's got good head movement. He's just maybe lacking in the power department a bit, but he's in shape. He's got all the fundamentals basically. He's doing very well. He just needs a good opponent to rip through. And OJ Rose is up there. And then OJ Rose is up there. Right, the next fight, the co-main event, the first women's co-main event, the first women's fight to go 5 rounds, and the first female cruiserweight fight, and it was for the female cruiserweight championship. Alina Vampira, someone who I've been very impressed with since I saw her performance against Fangs on Misfits X Series 006. I thought she was probably the best female boxer I've seen in the influencer division, because she was. And then Julie Porker came along and beat Elle Brook on the tournament, and yeah, and it was just kind of, yeah. So we thought Julie Porker might be a challenge for Alina Vampira. And she was, because that fight was absolutely mint, right? And I think you put Alina Vampira up against anyone else, she absolutely smokes them. Astrid Duet, Alina Vampira takes Astrid Duet's belt in 2 seconds, right? Alina Vampira, Elle Brook, I think Alina Vampira beats Elle Brook. Maybe Elle Brook might have her beat in the power department, and Elle Brook might be able to maybe rock Alina Vampira, but I think Alina Vampira takes that one. But again, Julie Porker's just something about these Brazils, they're too smart with the boxing. She's got a good sense of range. She's, again, like Gabriel Silva, counter punching. She was waiting for Alina Vampira to come in and counter punch her, and I don't think Alina Vampira was realizing it, because if Alina Vampira had just been more patient and not tried to throw in a heavy straight, she would have realized Julie was trying to counter her, and Julie wouldn't do much. It would force Julie to try and make a move, and maybe Alina could counter. You never know. But yeah, Julie won. It was a very, very good fight. Disappointed Alina lost, I guess. Main event, B-Dave, Jarvis. B-Dave's a dog for getting in there, first of all, right? The fact B-Dave survived those 5 rounds is amazing, because Jarvis dropped him in the first round and was absolutely beating the shit out of him for 5 rounds. I think after the fight, Jarvis said, he wanted the Gabe rematch. I think he's got to earn a bit more, because he only beat B-Dave and he didn't stop him. He only dropped him. He didn't stop him. He's calling out Nick Alameo and Alex Wasabi. I think that's a good move, because Nick Alameo's been proved as a good person, I guess, because he made it hard for Jay Swingler. He won a 4-man match and he drew in a tag team, and Alex Wasabi beat Deji in the main event, beat iDubbbz in the main event, and then drew in the tag team. So I think these are dubbed up as tough guys, but they're not really, because I think Face Jarvis has his way with them. If not, he always wants the slim fight is always there. So Pappy was ringside calling out Jarvis. Those fights are there, and I think they're all good fights for Jarvis, but I think for Jarvis, you'd want to go down the Nick Alameo and Alex Wasabi route, because I think he can beat those men comfortably. Because when it comes to Saul Pappy might be probably the most even fight Jarvis could take, because that could go anyway. I don't think knockouts, but I think Saul Pappy Jarvis could literally go. They could have 3 fights and draw in all of them, right? But I think Jarvis taking on Slim, I don't think he'll beat Slim. Taking on a Gib rematch, again, I don't think he beats Gib. Gib has the volume, Slim has that right hand. I don't think he's got those fights. But overall, impressive card, very good card. You can't complain with a good Misfits card. Right, but one thing I will say, Joe Weller's out there calling out my boy Bazinga. Listen here, mate, right? Bazinga, if he trains, he's already got the shape. He's already used to it. He's done his weight loss journey. He's done his marathon journey, right? He knows how this fitness stuff works. He knows how his new sports work. He's scored a football knowledge, yeah. He's scored a goal at his favourite football team stadium, yeah. He knows how picking up new sports works, yeah. Joe Weller, you've been out since the KSI fight. You've chatted a lot of shit. You've called out a lot of people, right? You've called out Deji. The fight never happened. Gabe called you out right in front of you. Fight never happened. All these people all these people. You've got a KSI for another fight. It still never happened, right? But you're taking Bazinga. You mentioned on True Jody's podcast all these people that you wanted to fight, but all of them had fight experience and more fight experience than you, and they'd won fights, and they'd got knockouts before. There's a reason you went for Bazinga, because he hasn't had a fight, but he's in shape, and it would draw tickets. Realistically, you want Bazinga, and I know you probably might win this fight, but I want Bazinga to train hard and come back and win this fight, because I swear to God, Ethan, I will unsubscribe, right? You better beat Joe Weller, otherwise I'll come and do it. I'm only 16, but I'll come and beat Joe Weller. No, I'm joking, I won't. But please, I hope that fight happens. Mams, make that fight happen, because it's a great fight. Yeah, get up there. Joe Weller, Bazinga, March. My money's on Bazinga, because he's a man. He's a real man. Thanks for watching anyway for my Thomas rant again. I try to give my opinions on things, but sometimes I don't know what I'm saying, so I just end up reciting what's already happened and what's already been said, so my information's kind of useless. But nonetheless, please like, subscribe, and all that wonderful stuff, and I will see you. Goodbye.
Non-stop, on job, say less. It's tweeting and talking, better mind that you're walking, say less. Sometimes give me the mic, but sometimes I gotta say less.